I had a chance to adopt a marmoset monkey in Miami. I built him an enclosure. I got him a mate named Tavi. They had 12 offspring, so I raised a family of 12 marmoset monkeys. My nickname is Troyzan, and all my friends and my family call me Troyzan because they know I'm kind of like this Tarzan guy.
He's funny, he's likable, and he's no dummy. He knows the game and knows how to play it.
I've been trying to get on Survivor since the very first episode. I said, this show is me. It really is. This show was meant for me. I'm one of the older guys, and I don't know if they know how old I am yet. I'm not sure if they even will believe that I'm 50, because a lot of the casting people will say, like, you don't look like you're 50. You don't even seem like you're 50. I would definitely be open to some kind of relationship. There's some pretty cute girls here. But, you know, what the heck? If she doesn't mind my breath and I don't mind hers and something happens in the woods, hey, all power to you.
Every season of Survivor is a story. There are main characters, sidekicks, comic reliefs, and villains. A good season of Survivor tells a compelling story that has you rooting for someone and against someone else in hopes that it all ends in a satisfying conclusion. Each story we look at together will go through one character's journey from beginning to end, and we are going to look at every character moment and strategic move to determine whether they were a hero or a villain and whether they were a good or bad strategist. With that, welcome to Once Upon an Island. For reference, we are only observing what the TV show is showing us and what stories being told through the show. No future seasons will be mentioned, but I may include secret scenes and behind the scenes footage to flesh out the story, and all character moments and strategic moves are interpreted with the mindset of what the story is trying to tell us. And now with that,
39 days, 18 people, 1 survivor.
Troyzan, a 50-year-old swimsuit photographer, was a castaway on season 24 Survivor One World. Survivor is back in Samoa for the 4th time, and there are no returnees, thank goodness. However, the tribes are split by gender, which we have not seen since season 9 Vanuatu, which ended up being excellent. And on the men's tribe is Troyzan, but also Tarzan?
Birth name?
Greg Tarzan.
Greg. What are you gonna go by?
Tarzan.
Okay.
One guy's called Tarzan, and I'm like, he can't be Tarzan. I'm Troyzan. It's like, this is my island, baby.
Casting knew what they were doing. We then get some smack talk where Sabrina says men cannot survive without women, and Troyzan says the men are gonna win everything. We then see everyone given 2 minutes to gather as many supplies as they can off the truck, and while the women are throwing things into their pile, Michael just steals stuff and no one catches him. This is war. However, a massive plot twist is revealed. You know the name of the season 1 world? Well, both tribes are living on the same beach for the first time in Survivor history. Wow, I mean, this is huge. This opens up the social dynamics and tribe dynamics to a place we have never seen before in the entire show's history. And yet, how do the players respond to this big twist? With like a very, very mild reaction, in my opinion. They're like, wow, yep, okay, and that's it. A bit disappointing, all things considered. I think it's because a lot of them are recruited to the show, therefore they don't really have the knowledge base that this is not normal. We then see Colton of the men's tribe spending a lot of time, and I do mean a lot of time, with the women. He even tells the girls he will be flipping to them the first chance he gets because he is gay and feels more at home with them than all the guys. That's how he puts it. But it is day 1 and the guys get a fire started easily. So the girls try to steal it.
Show you. I mean, these are chicks over there, like they're in the cuckoo land. I mean, they want to come and trade fire for a chicken. It's the first day, the first hours. We don't need a chicken.
If Monica takes her pants off, will you let us get one?
Oh. Naked,
Come on.
I dare you.
Naked and we get...
We don't know what you get if you go naked. We have no idea.
We had no control over that. The girls are so typical. You can't play. Well, I've been around 50 years, lady. You didn't come over here with your set of taters on you and walking around with your little bikini. You're not gonna get fire from me on the first day. You better suffer for like 2 or 3 days. Maybe they just one by one just quit. Oh, we're done. It's like, this is not what I signed up for.
Believe it or not, despite that successful block by the men, Monica, in the middle of the night, steals some embers. Good for her. So all of the back and forth fighting is just for naught. We then go to the immunity challenge where everyone has to jump into this net where Jeff says, fall on your back with your arms crossed on your chest like an X. So basically, no one does this, causing multiple injuries, including Courtney.
Technically, this challenge requires 9 people start, 9 people finish. So by the rules, this challenge is over. The men have won and they can take the victory right now and send the women to tribal council. The men, if you want, can make a gesture of goodwill and say, let's finish this challenge.
We're gonna take immunity.
Meaning you're gonna win the challenge right now.
Yeah.
Don't you want to finish the game? Don't you guys want to finish and complete it?
Okay,
And do it the right
no,
way?
I understand. If it was reversed and one of us got hurt, I just don't think it would be the same thing. There's no way you guys would say, let's play on. You just wouldn't do it. I just don't buy it. That doesn't work.
Like, just have someone. I
We're
mean, we have.
Bring it on.
What we want.
Those guys don't give a crap about any of us girls, and it showed it today. They don't care. This is a no mercy game.
I agree with the men. The women would have done the same exact thing. Nothing has indicated they are perfect angels who will always do what is right. Get out of here with that nonsense. So that's it for the premiere, and so far, Troyzan seems like a goofy, antagonistic dude, which is like most of the men this season. Did you know that Patreon is now free to sign up for? Yes, that is the place where I give updates, post videos early, and have you all pick what I make now as a free option. Link in the description, you can cancel anytime, and there's a 15% discount if you do want to support this channel for 1 year. Thank you for your support. Episode 2 has a DIY emphasis on the why reward challenge where the men win a tarp and Sabrina says, no one remembers second place. Forget second place, Sabrina. I forgot this challenge even happened. Like every time I watch a season, I don't remember that this happens and I'll probably forget as soon as this video is done. But do you remember how Colton has hung around the girls a lot? Well, it is now day 4 and apparently he has crossed a line. They're over him. They're so annoyed by him and no one likes him. But then, plot twist, as it turns out, the girls, before they got annoyed with Colton, gave him an idol. Yeah. And now every guy's like, crap, I guess I have to do whatever Colton says. You do? Why? Who made that rule? Are these men dumb or something? An idol doesn't mean you have to do whatever the guy says. In fact, if anything, you split votes and you get him out of there, especially when you don't like him. They then win immunity, and in episode 3, the rain is bad. Like we have seen in 3 of the 4 Samoa seasons so far, the rain's really bad. And Chelsea asked the guys to sit by their fire since the women can't seem to keep their fire going. I guess that's what they get for stealing it. And Troyzan says yes. Now this is a rare nice moment amongst all the back and forth bickering and fighting between these tribes. But enough niceties for now. At the reward challenge, the guys suck so hard that Jeff calls them pathetic, and I agree. The women win reward, aka a fishing boat and fishing supplies, and back at camp, the girls are no longer asking. They're just kind of like using the guy's shelter and sitting by their fire without permission, and the guys are like, well, if you let us use your fishing boat, we'll let you use our fire, and the girls are like, ugh, what? I can't believe you would want that, and they get mad. At this point, I feel as if we're watching high schoolers play Survivor and not grown adults. What is going on here? The men lose immunity, and back at camp, they all defer to Colton as to who should be voted out since he has the idol. Again, I am blown away. Why does the idol equal power in this sense? Thankfully, we learn that Troyzan is in the main alliance, and Matt has formed like this little buff dude alliance, this little 3-man buff dude alliance, which is clearly not the numbers in this tribe. And he's the target. Matt sees the writing on the wall, tries sucking up to Jonas, who we learn is Troyzan's right-hand man, despite having no scenes showing this. And of course, Matt sucks up to Troyzan himself, where Troyzan just lies and lies to Matt to make him feel good.
I think we got to come up with a smaller group of guys that we intend on diving deep into this game with. Me, you, Jay, and maybe Mike, maybe one other guy. All of us are roosters, right? And we don't want any of the roosters around.
Of course.
I just want a bunch of chickens with me, so I'll be the only rooster. But the chickens, they can't break up the roosters. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be safe, and we'll hit the merge, and we'll hopefully take out these chicks. And
take them out. Matt basically is a jerk. He calls the strongest guys the roosters, and the whole time I'm agreeing with him, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm never gonna be with you. It ain't Survivor unless you're lying.
Third person voted out of Survivor One World. Matt, tribe has spoken.
Episode 4 starts, and Leaf is sleeping in a box. Who is Leaf? Well, he's a little person who we see multiple times this season, sleeping in a box. Dracula confirmed. The men then try to strike up a deal with the women, and
so here's what we're proposing. If we could use the net, we're willing to give you half of it.
I know I probably sound like a cold-hearted bitch, and I'm really not, but we can't be feeding our enemy.
The women, they're trying to be such hard noses. I just don't get that. I don't know if their emotions are turning them wacky or what, but they're just emotional creatures and they just can't seem to think straight.
Don't think I'm a bitch. Well, you just made a bitch move.
It's a free offer. They're doing nothing. They can suntan on the beach while we go fish and bring them half of the food. Like, hello, is anybody home?
Well, that went nowhere fast. The women win reward, but then the men win immunity. Simple. So we get to move on to episode 5, right? Wrong. Colton has an idol, and again, apparently has all the influence in the entire world, as he is currently beefing with Bill, and that leads to...
Bill is a crazy person. God, I hate him. Maybe I should go to those girls and say, do y'all want to trade? And we'll go to Tribal Council tonight because we have a lot more to deal with than y'all.
I've never heard of anyone doing this. I don't like that idea, but at this point, Colton's calling the shots. So what am I going to say? No? If I do that, Colton might put a target on my back.
What happened? They want to go to tribal.
Are you joking?
No. Oh my God.
The Monano tribe has absolutely lost their marbles. They're not a tribe. They're not working together, which is great. Because if they do this, it gives the Solani tribe that big boost that we needed.
The guys are very confused right now. But I've always been able to get people to do what I want. And I want Bill gone. I'm running this entire show right now. If you can't see that, you are Helen Keller.
I cannot believe the men willingly go to tribal, and while they're there, as it turns out, Colton's racist. Oh buddy, and Troyzan is mad that race is even being talked about at all since we now have a black president. This is while Obama's president, by the way, in America, and it is uncomfortable to watch. Oh yeah, Colton is the worst. So they all go to vote, and...
4th person voted out of Survivor One World. Bill. Bill, tribe has spoken.
In what feels like a weird move for Survivor to do, considering all the drama the One World twist has caused, they're doing a tribe switch with one tribe living on a different beach from the other one. But why? Doesn't that negate the whole twist of the season? Dum da dum dum. Troyzan lands on the new Solani tribe, who look head and shoulders better than the new Monano tribe. Like, it isn't even close. Back at camp, Troyzan catches a chicken and compares this to the time he played quarterback in high school in 1979. Okay, Uncle Rico. Their tribe wins immunity, and in episode 6, Jay says, hey, I feel like it's no longer men versus women, Troyzan. I feel like it's the new tribes. Those are the new divisions. New Solani versus new Monono. Is this true? Well, in season 6, the Amazon, when they did a tribe switch in the first men versus women season, because that's the first one, yeah, actually, that's exactly how it went. It was no longer men versus women, it was the new tribes, and those were the new alliances. In season 9, Vanuatu, the men were deceived by the women to believe that the new tribes were the new alliances, when actually it was men versus women the whole time. So what about here in this season? We shall see. We then go to the reward challenge where
Troyzan could win it right here. And he does! Solani wins ice cream reward!
This is our island!
Dude, Leaf is on a whole different beach now, still sleeping in the Dracula box. Amazing, brilliant. But what about Colton, you may be asking? He had such incredible power in the first 4 episodes. Well, he gets medically evacuated with the idol in his pocket and is given the opportunity to give it to someone else. And he says, no, I'll just hang on to it as a souvenir. Wow, this guy. So with Colton gone, Jeff has both tribes come to tribal and says, all right, let's do this thing. Merge time. Okay, so if Jay and Troyzan are correct, then it is new Solani versus new Monono, meaning Troyzan's Solani tribe is up 7-5. Nice. Everyone enjoys their merge feast in the pitch dark, and the next day it is time for a reward challenge. Everyone is split up into 2 teams where Troyzan and Christina do the puzzle, and...
The Orange Tribe wins reward!
This is my island.
That is now the 2nd or 3rd time this season he has claimed this is his island. I don't think that's how it works, Troyzan. You can't just go to another country, win a Survivor Challenge or 2, and just loudly proclaim that you own this country. You can't just take Samoa like that. Or can you? Troyzan then finds an idol clue, and then the idol itself. I mean, wow, what a day for the guy. An island and an idol, and, you know, also the reward challenge. And like, can it get any better for him?
Cat steps off the perch. Troyzan wins first individual immunity.
Crazy.
What's crazy about it?
You know how long I've waited to feel this thing, man? It's like, what the hell is going on right now? And you're touching me, Jeff Probst. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
I spoke too soon. It can get better for him. Everything is going Troyzan's way this episode. There is no stopping him. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Samoa is his island now. Well, everything is going his way until he learns that they will soon be targeting Jonas, the guy who was his right-hand man that we never saw any scenes of this happening in. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying they didn't show it in the show. We just heard about it. But when they all voted tribal,
7th person voted out and the first member of our jury, Jonas. Jonas, tribe has spoken.
the new Solani is up 7-4 over the old Monono. However, Jay and Troyzan talk about a sneaking suspicion they have that the girls are secretly working together and the new tribe split actually means nothing. If true, this is Vanuatu all over again, except I don't know if anyone here is Chris Doherty, if you know what I mean. Troyzan tests this theory out by asking Solani if they would be willing to vote out Christina, and they deflect so fast and say, oh no, we have to get out Michael instead. Mind you, everyone, and I do mean everyone, hates Christina. Like, they crap on her all the time. I don't know what Christina did. They just crap on her constantly. So him proposing her to be voted out it should have been like an easy vote out. And they're like, oh no, Michael, we need out Michael. So here's the thing. Troyzan and Jay's suspicions are right. It is men versus women, and the men have no idea about this. I mean, even in this moment, they still don't know.
Troy, I just thought you should know that Mike is subtly planting the seed in lots of people's minds that you're going to win. And that, like, we can't let you make it that long. And so I just feel like we got to get Mike out of here because he's one of the only people I think that could bully Christina Alicia,
right.
And he gets one more of us to vote. And you're going home, and then we're all going home.
That pisses me off.
Troyzan and I went this morning in the rain to get tree mail, and I told him this whole story about, hey, yesterday Mike was kind of throwing your name out there. I think we need to take Mike out first, and then we'll take out the girls.
This morning, I hear that Mike wants to take me out of the game, and it pisses me off. He doesn't do jack squat. He's just an idiot. That guy irks me, man. I'm sick of him. And if Mike wants to frickin' vote me out, he's got another thing coming.
Wow, Kim made a straight up lie, and Troyzan bought it hook, line, and sinker. It isn't just Kim either. Sabrina, Chelsea, really all of the women are duping the men, and it is working. I am impressed by how Kim fabricated that story completely out of thin air though. Jay wins immunity, so at tribal council, they vote, and
8th person voted out, the 2nd member of our jury, Mike. Tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
the women are now up 6-4. You see, it was 6-6 entering the merge, meaning had the men just known what was going on, had not made a strategic error, they could have had a tied vote at the merge and maybe something else would have occurred, but no, it's a gendered split and they had no idea. This is Vanuatu all over again, but this time the cast is not nearly as charismatic or charming as that season's cast was, in my opinion. Tarzan talks to Troyzan and says the writing's on the wall, the women have tricked us, and the men are going to be going one after the other. Troyzan now gets it, it clicks. We then get yet another DIY, emphasis on the why challenge, where Troyzan pretends to be Jeff Probst and his group wins. I don't know why they're doing these DIY challenges, they're completely worthless. While they enjoy the reward on what I'm pretty sure is last season's Redemption Island, Troyzan says this is his island. Again, he says this again, but no, Troyzan, this time, I'm gonna have to say Ozzy owns this island. If you know, you know. We then go to the immunity challenge where Troyzan loses and Chelsea says yes out loud right when he loses. Wow, she's just like openly rooting for Troyzan to lose immunity. His head must be on the chopping block, and we get a confessional from Chelsea who says, it is true, I love money and therefore Troyzan needs to go. Dang. Troyzan then talks to Kim and
You're not voting me off.
No.
So you just definitely Alicia. Yeah. Swear to me. I'm not gonna blindside me. I'm gonna go, damn it, like my freaking Survivor experience sucks.
We're good.
I know. It's like,
You're good.
Kim just kind of like kept going, like, don't worry, it's almost like too much. I don't know, it just seems a little fishy. Like, if she wanted to get me out, she'd want to be extra sure that I felt like I was safe. It just doesn't sound right. Like, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. You only have to say it once.
she tried to play him, and this time he sniffed it out. Good for him. Troyzan talks to Jay and says, hey, here's what's really happening. The women are duping us. And Jay does not believe him at all. Dude, and it gets worse. It gets so much worse. Jay goes to Kim and tells her everything, and I do mean everything Troyzan told him, including all of their information. I mean, like, just everything, including that Troyzan has an idol and he's going to play tonight to try to get Kim out of the game. Dude, why are the men this season so dumb? So they all vote at Tribal, and
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. All right. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Troyzan will not count. First vote, Troy, does not count. Troy, does not count. Kim, Alicia, Jay, 1 vote Jay. Jay, 2 votes Jay. Alicia, 2 votes Jay, 2 votes Alicia. Jay, that's 3 votes Jay. 9th person voted out, the 3rd member of our jury. Jay, tribe has spoken.
good. Jay deserved to go after spilling all of Troyzan's secrets, but it's too late now. What is Troyzan gonna do? He's on the hot seat and he knows everything is do or die for him from this point on. Can he win out on the next 6 immunity challenges or win a bunch of immunity challenges and also find idols and play? I mean, it's a mess. He has to get through a lot, and I do mean a lot on his own. It's a tall order, but he's gonna go for it. He then talks to the women and asks why they didn't flip, and the women all come at him, and man, oh man, it's just like a bad look. Like, Troyzan should have done these conversations in one-on-one in private, and he tries to do it out in the open in front of everybody, and it's not good. Troyzan is making himself look like someone you don't want to work with because you're not sure what he's gonna do. But at this point, what does he have to lose?
This is how ridiculous these people are. They somehow think I'm supposed to come back to camp. Oh, it's just a game. Hey, we're just having fun here. And so I'm like, what, are you kidding me right now? Like, I have the right to be angry.
As much as I hate to say it, you can't take it like Jonas. He took it like a man, you know?
Right.
And he deserves to be here more than maybe you.
I don't know about that.
He worked his ass off here every single day, and he took it like a man.
Right. These girls are kind of acting like what a lot of women act like in the real life. They get their house, they get their food, they get all their stuff. Then as soon as they feel satisfied, they go, oh, guess what? We don't need you no more. You're done. We're done with the guy.
I think the swimsuit photographer may have a distorted view of women, but I will let you all be the judge of that one. It is now time. The Survivor auction is here. Troyzan says, no matter what, I'm saving my money. I'm gonna buy an idol, clue, or advantage. So he passes on the letter from home, but gets very emotional when doing so because he feels like he is alone in this game. And he says, a letter can't save me, though I really want it. Leaf also passes on the letter from home, but we'll get to that one later. Troyzan does get in a bidding war against Christina because she's being forced to, and he wins the immunity challenge advantage. All the while, I gotta point out, the women were berating and guilting Christina to bid against him. But what else is new? The women are kind of like a bunch of bullies, but we're gonna dive deeper into that in the women's story videos. Back at camp, it gets super awkward. Like, I cannot express how awkward this is as Leaf begs for Jeff Probst to come to their camp and sell him a letter. And people are like, the auction's over, Leaf. But Leaf is like so emotional, he's crying, and it just makes me feel icky watching this take place, but it's a secret scene. I think that's the reason why. It's weird. Oh, and by the way, Jeff Probst does not show up, Leaf does not get his letter. It's weird. Troyzan then pulls a trick he saw Rupert do in Heroes vs. Villains. He takes a rock, he puts it in his pocket, and pretends it is an idol. Brilliant. So, at the immunity challenge, with his life on the line.
This is my island, you can't beat me.
Shut up, please.
You're not getting
Oh my God, please knock this fool out.
Troyzan knocks out his 3rd target in a row. Yes! Troyzan wins immunity!
Yes!
Troyzan is safe at tonight's tribal council. As for the rest of you, somebody going home tonight.
This thing feels outstanding. It is like a miracle. It changes my whole day. It changes everybody else's happy-go-lucky mood to, now what? Paranoia. Does he have an immunity idol as well? It's like their worst case scenario. Their worst case scenario. Troy wins.
Chelsea gets mad at Troyzan for showboating here. The same woman who last episode was openly rooting for him to lose. The irony, it's real. But for real, 100%, how Troyzan reacted here to that win is probably how I would be on Survivor and why I would never win the show. I am too naturally antagonistic that I would undoubtedly go off like Troyzan here. If you've heard me on the podcast, you know, that's me unscripted. I mean, that's probably how I really would be all the time. It makes him more rootable in my opinion, but it is not helping his case socially with the people in the game. Back at camp, Tarzan gets on to him about being noble and whatever. I mean, what is noble gonna do for Troyzan at this point? He tries to tell the others about how Kim needs to go or she will win this game, and no one listens. Would they have listened if he had played a better social game this episode? We'll never know, but Do I think so? I don't think so. We then go to Tribal, where Troyzan speaks for the audience to the detriment of his own game.
Troyzan, the ultimate terror. Big deal. Do you think I really care?
I'm saying you can't be all extreme in one way. Because no matter how much you outwit, outplay, outlast someone, you have to be somewhat likable.
You're not my mother that can tell me like what I can and can't do.
I'm just speaking with truth, and if you can't handle the truth, then
the
that's
truth. Now this is the truth in Survivor. Now all of a sudden there's the ultimate truth coming from Sabrina, who basically deceived me and lied to Jay. So you're Mrs. Truth over here? You voted him out and I'm next. So what's new, Mrs. Truth?
Okay, well, dude.
You lied.
I am 2 feet from you.
Answer the question.
I'm 2
Did
feet
you
from
lie?
you.
Yes or no?
No,
It's
I
a
didn't.
yes or no.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
Nope.
right.
He speaks the truth. Again, what I would probably do in the game, and it wouldn't help, but I would do it. It isn't going to help him in the game. I mean, at all. But maybe, just maybe, the jury might like what he is doing, but he still has to get to final 3 for that to matter. Oh yeah, we're at Tribal. What am I talking about? Leaf is voted out. The women are up 6-2, but really it's 7-1 as Troyzan defected a long time ago. Good for him, by the way. Troyzan says it is him versus the world. Bring it on. We then see Kim win reward, and she takes Alicia and Chelsea with her. As of now, Kim, Alicia, and Chelsea seems like the likely final 3. The other women, namely Kat, are mad that they didn't get chosen by Kim, and Troyzan says, hello, you're not going to final 3 with Kim. But the women are too disillusioned to know that he is speaking the truth. Like Kat literally doesn't understand the concept of why Kim would pick people to go with her on reward for strategic purposes. Troyzan's baffled. I'm baffled, and I can imagine you're probably baffled as well. He says, ladies, please pay attention. Kim is the real threat here. You're all under her spell, and she can win a lot of challenges. You all cannot be in final 3. Correct. Again, correct, but again, he is ignored. We then get a secret scene where Troyzan basically points out that everyone here is a goof.
These people are knuckleheads. Sabrina's like, you know, she's from Brooklyn, so she's not around any kind of animal or wildlife. And then Kat's like the little kid. She'll just blurt something out.
Waves took my shoe. Story of my life. Ultimate fail, epic fail. I have one shoe, but not the other shoe. That is the story of my life.
She does some goofy statements. I mean, like, I just kind of roll my eyes and like...
And Christina is a complete moron. I mean, the more I talk to her, I was like, is anything happening in her brain? Hello?
Please spare me! I don't want to see 50-year-old out here. I don't!
A pig then wanders into their camp. Holy crap, you know how much protein that you get out of that whole hog? No, like I don't know. I tried Googling it. I'm sure it's based on the size of the pig, but really I was hoping you could tell me. How much protein do you think is in that pig? Regardless, the pig is wandering and everyone decides, let's catch it. And then they decide, actually, let's not catch it. Why is that? Well, according to Troyzan, they wouldn't even know what to do with it if they caught him. I say kill it first and then figure out the details later, but what do I know? I'm not there. Anyways, it's time for immunity with Troyzan's life on the line, and...
Troyzan takes his first shot and misses. Tarzan really taking his time, and it pays off!
Troyzan is so good.
Kim wins immunity. Yep, Troyzan's done. The show tries to pretend that maybe he can get them to split the votes with this fake rock idol thing, but no way. Even if they did split the votes evenly and perfectly, they would just knock him out on a revote. Troyzan does not have enough power to do anything here. He again tries to tell them that not everyone can be in Kim's final 3, but again, they don't care. So they all go to vote and...
11th person voted out and the 5th member of the jury. Troyzan, the tribe has spoken.
One of the best things to me is, like, it might sound strange, but the fact that the tribe name is Tikiano, which means nothing. And my first monkey his name was Tiki, and it's very dear to me, and I just think it's hilarious that they're gonna find out that the tribe was named after my monkey Tiki. Año had nothing to do with it. It was like year of my Tiki, so those knuckleheads don't know what the heck they got themselves into.
So let's break this down. How is Troyzan as a character? Troyzan, to me, is so clearly a fan on a cast of recruits that it makes me want to root for him. It's probably because I see a little bit of myself in him in terms of the way he plays the game. Despite Troyzan's flaws as a person, he was passionate and an underdog, and being passionate while trying your best in the underdog role on Survivor does tend to make you look like a hero, even if you're not. Just ask Stephanie LaGrossa and Palau. Troyzan also seemed to speak on the audience's behalf to the detriment of his own game. It makes it easier for people to root for him despite his inherent flaws. Out of 22 character moments shown on the show, 12 were heroic and 10 were villainous, making Troyzan a hero character on Survivor One World. Now, how is Troyzan as a strategist? Overall, not good. Had the men not been a massive group of idiots, I could see Troyzan getting to the end and winning if he was with all the men, but really, they were a massive group of idiots that was probably never gonna happen, and he was lumped in with them. He was just less idiotic than most. He had some game savvy, knew what to do. However, his social game failed him completely, and for that, he was never going to win as long as the women held power in this game. Chris Doherty, he is not. Out of 40 strategic moments shown on the show, 21 were smart and 19 were dumb, making Troyzan a smart strategist on Survivor One World. Thank you for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.